Polonnaruwa is located on a rich land in the center of Sri Lanka, an ancient city built from the 11th to the 13th century. This city was once the center of the Kingdom of Ceylon, a place that combined cultural quintessence and impressive architecture. Polonnaruwa is located on a rich land in the center of Sri Lanka, an ancient city built from the 11th to the 13th century. This city was once the center of the Kingdom of Ceylon, a place that combined cultural quintessence and impressive architecture. Start our journey at Parakrama Samudra Temple. Parakrama Samudra Temple is an important historical structure in Sri Lanka. Built in the 12th century by King Parakrama Samudra, this is one of the most famous irrigation works in this island nation. Parakrama Samudra Temple is often called Temple of the Parakrama Sea, which can be translated as Temple of the Parakrama Ocean. This temple was mainly built to store rainwater and provide water for farming. The project includes an extensive system of dams and canals, creating a large lake called Parakrama Samudra. This lake has played an important role in maintaining agriculture and the lives of people in the area. In addition to its practical effects, Parakrama Samudra Temple also brings special cultural and historical value. This work is considered a testament to the prosperity and progress of the Polonnaruwa Kingdom, one of the historical capitals of Sri Lanka. Tourists often visit Parakrama Samudra Temple to admire the unique architecture and enjoy the peaceful space around the lake. This is also an important historical destination that attracts people who love to study and explore Sri Lankan culture. Kiri Vihara Tower is one of the wonderful architectural works in Sri Lanka, located in the historical complex of Polonnaruwa, one of the famous historical sites of this country. Below is a description of the Kiri Vihara Tower. Kiri Vihara Tower has a circular tower architecture, reflecting the classic architectural style of the Polonnaruwa Kingdom. The tower is tall and dazzling, creating an impressive image when viewed from afar. The tower was built in the 12th century under King Parakrama Samudra, one of the famous kings of Sri Lanka. It played an important role in demonstrating the power and authority of the Polonnaruwa Kingdom at that time. As one of the important Buddhist temples, Kiri Vihara Tower has great religious and cultural value. It is seen as a symbol of the Sri Lankan people's respect and devotion to Buddhism. Kiri Vihara Tower attracts many tourists and Buddhists to visit. The temple is often considered an important pilgrimage site, and visitors often come to admire the architectural beauty and feel the sacred atmosphere here. Conservation and restoration efforts have been undertaken to maintain the integrity of the Kiri Vihara Tower and keep it an important part of Sri Lanka's historical heritage. Kiri Vihara Tower is not only an outstanding architectural work, but also a symbol of Buddhist history and culture in Sri Lanka, attracting the interest of art and history lovers. Kiri Vihara shores of Polonnaruwa, one of the famous historical sites of this country. Below is a description of the Kiri Vihara Tower. Kiri Vihara Tower has a circular tower architecture, reflecting the classic architectural style of the Polonnaruwa kingdom. The tower is tall and dazzling, creating an impressive image when viewed from afar. The tower was built in the 12th century under King Parakrama Samudra, one of the famous kings of Sri Lanka. It played an important role in demonstrating the power and authority of the Polonnaruwa kingdom at that time. As one of the important Buddhist temples, Kiri Vihara Tower has great religious and cultural value. It is seen as a symbol of the Sri Lankan people's respect and devotion to Buddhism. Kiri Vihara Tower attracts many tourists and Buddhists to visit. The temple is often considered an important pilgrimage site, and visitors often come to admire the architectural beauty and feel the sacred atmosphere here. Conservation and restoration efforts have been undertaken to maintain the integrity of the Kiri Vihara Tower and keep it an important part of Sri Lanka's historical heritage. The Kiri Vihara Tower, with its architectural beauty and spiritual value, contributes to the cultural and religious wealth of Sri Lanka, attracting the attention of tourists and those interested in art and history. Gal Vihara Temple is one of Sri Lanka's famous monuments, located in the historical site of Polonnaruwa, an ancient town that was once the capital of the Polonnaruwa kingdom. Here is some information about Gal Vihara Temple. Architectural design. Gal Vihara Temple consists of a group of large Buddha statues carved from a large portable stone block, demonstrating the sophistication and high artistry of Sri Lankan sculptors of the Polonnaruwa period. These statues include a sitting Buddha statue, Dua, a standing Buddha statue, STH standing, and two optimistic Buddha statues with peaceful postures. Sitting Buddha statue, Dua. The sitting Buddha statue, Dua, is the largest and most prominent of the group. Buddha sits in a meditation position, with his hands placed on his thighs, expressing calmness and purity. Standing Buddha statue. Standing. The standing Buddha statue is an impressive work of art with a ringing standing posture. Thought and vitality are subtly expressed through details such as Ao dye and jewelry. Optimistic Buddha statue. Two optimistic Buddha statues express joy and happiness. One standing and one sitting, both convey a spirit of optimism and joy. Religious principles. Gal Vihara Temple is an important religious center, attracting many Buddhist followers and tourists. Sitting Buddha statues are often considered symbols of purity and wisdom, while standing Buddha statues represent vitality and optimistic Buddha statues represent joy. Construction period. Gal Vihara Temple was built around the 12th century under the reign of King Parakrama Samudra, one of the famous kings of Sri Lanka. Conservation and preservation. Efforts have continued to conserve and preserve the Gal Vihara Temple, with the objective of maintaining the integrity and historical value of this monument. The beautiful and fascinating Gal Vihara Temple is an important site for both tourists and those interested in Sri Lanka's Buddhist art and culture. Polonnaruwa is one of the historic ancient cities of Sri Lanka and is now known mainly as a historical site. However, there is some information about life in Polonnaruwa that may interest you. Population and urbanization. Polonnaruwa is a small town with a small population compared to other modern cities of Sri Lanka. The population is mainly made up of villagers and people living around the area. Economy. Polonnaruwa's economy is mainly based on agriculture and tourism. Farmers here often cultivate rice and other crops, such as cashew nuts. Travel and culture. Tourism is an important source of income for the Polonnaruwa community. Tourists visit to admire the historical monuments, such as Gal Vihara Temple, Parakrama Samudra Temple, and many more. The community here often often meets many tourists and has the opportunity to participate in activities related to tourism and traditional art. Education and culture. Polonnaruwa has schools and educational facilities to serve the educational needs of the community. Polonnaruwa's culture is often reflected in traditional festivals, music, and folk art. The infrastructure. Infrastructure in Polonnaruwa may not be as developed as other major cities, but it still ensures the basics for the daily life of the community. Public transportation and basic services are present, however, they may not be as developed as in big cities. Preserving the environment and nature. Polonnaruwa is located in a wetland area with a system of dams and lakes such as the Parakrama Samudra Temple, which play an important role in maintaining the agriculture and living environment of the community. Overall, life in Polonnaruwa is a mix of cultural history and modern community life, with an economy largely based on agriculture and tourism. Enjoying Polonnaruwa's culinary specialties is an important part of the journey of discovery, especially as Sri Lanka is famous for its diverse flavors and distinctive cooking styles. Yes, discovering culture through food is a wonderful experience. At Polonnaruwa, you will enjoy the typical flavors of Sri Lanka through traditional dishes. This is not only a great way to explore local culture, but also to enrich your travel experience. Traditional dishes at Polonnaruwa often include rice and curry. A formal meal with basically rice and a variety of meat, fish, or raw vegetables, accompanied by coconut milk and typical spices. Koti roti, a unique dish with bread chopped and stir-fried with meat, raw vegetables, and spices. Hoppers, appa. A thin, crab-like base cake, usually served with egg in the middle or can be made in many different ways. String hoppers. Thin rice cakes made into strings and often served with coconut milk and sauces. You should try many dishes to have a complete and diverse culinary experience. Don't forget to visit local eateries to enjoy the authentic atmosphere of Sri Lankan culinary culture. In our daily lives at Polonnaruwa, we will immerse ourselves in community culture by participating in unique festivals and events. You will have the opportunity to interact with local residents, gain insight into traditional rituals, and feel the warmth of the unique cultural practices they proudly maintain for generations. Finally, to ensure you have the best journey to explore Polonnaruwa, we will provide a detailed travel itinerary. From famous historical sites to unique cultural experiences, the itinerary will lead you through the highlights and wonderful hidden corners of this ancient city. Let's start an unforgettable adventure. Detailed travel itinerary in Polonnaruwa. Day 1, explore historical sites. Morning, visit Parakrama Samudra Temple and impressive lake. Noon, have lunch at a local restaurant. Afternoon, explore Kiri Vihara Tower and large Buddha statues at Gal Vihara Temple. Day 2, daily life and community culture. Morning, join Polonnaruwa Market to experience town life. Noon, taste unique cuisine at a local restaurant. Afternoon, participate in community cultural activities and festivals events. Day 3, unique journey and end. Morning, visit Lavapura Citadel and explore interesting architectural relics. Noon, enjoy different local cuisine. Afternoon, summary of the journey at the ancient place of Polonnaruwa and end of the trip. Note, the itinerary can be adjusted depending on your interests and special events taking place during your visit. Let your adventure at Polonnaruwa be a unique and fulfilling experience. Polonnaruwa is not just a historical destination, but a comprehensive experience of culture, architecture, and community life. Thank you for accompanying the YouTube channel, The Buddha is in My Heart. Please continue to subscribe and ring the bell so you don't miss the